Income tax. Who has to file? Anyone who's earned money during the previous year, and that money could be from working. So if you've earned more than $3,500, or you have investments like a bank account that gained interest, or even your pension. So once you've retired and you're receiving a pension, you have to pay tax on that as well. If none of the above apply to you, you still may wish to file for a return. And you can actually get some tax credits. So credits for like education, tax benefits, etc. carry over unused credits from the previous year. For example, education. So for instance, I have to pay for daycare for my kids before school, and I get a tax credit for that. That's money that I don't have to pay taxes on. So who does not have to file? Well, basically, if you make under $3,500, you don't have to file income tax. So what does this mean to file an income tax return? Basically, you're reporting your earnings to the government and claiming benefits you might be entitled to. If too much money was deducted from your pay last year, then you'll get a refund, which is always fun. What's not so fun is if you didn't pay enough money in the last year and then you have to pay even more. So you file taxes. You can do this yourself, or you can have an accountant do it, and they'll tell you if you get a refund or if you get some, you have to pay more. So where do you file your tax return? Basically, you can do it at home. So there's online programs that you can purchase that have these tax programs. So you can go to something like Walmart or Business Depot, and they have these tax programs. So you can just do it on your computer. It's really easy. You just open up the program and it'll say, okay, write down how much money you made, write down how much you paid in CPP. And you may be asking, well, where do you see this information? Well, there's something called a T4 slip that you're going to get from your employer, and it'll tell you how much money you made and how much money was deducted for the different taxes like income tax or CPP. And when you file taxes, they want all this information. So another thing you can do is pick up an income tax package at Aberdeen Post Office, or you can print it if you just type in Canada Revenue Agency. So you can print it, you can fill it out by hand, and then just mail it. There's also free tax clinics. You can look these up online. They're often held at public libraries. If you're at college or university, they have student centers. I remember when I was in university, they had all the fourth year accounting students doing taxes for free for anyone who wanted it. And you can also hire an accountant, a professional, to do your taxes. If you need help, you can call Service Canada or use their website. So if you type in Service Canada into Google, it'll come up the phone number, or you can just go to their website and ask questions. So you may ask, well, when do I have to do taxes by? The tax deadline each year is April 30th. Now, if you're receiving money, you can file taxes after that. The problem is if you have to pay them more money and you do your taxes, say, May 30th, you can get charged a penalty. So you do want to, because you never know if you're going to get money back or you have to pay money. So you want to stick to this April 30th deadline. So what you need to do a tax return? Well, you need your SIN. Your SIN stands for your social insurance number. So whenever you have a job, your employer is going to ask you for your SIN. When you open up a bank account, they want your SIN. And those are basically the only two people who should be asking for your SIN. Okay, so when you file taxes, when you have a job, or you open up a bank account, are the only people that should be asking for your social insurance number. But you need to include this on your tax return. And then you're going to need these information slips. So there's something called a T4, a T3, T5. There's a whole bunch of Ts. And I already gave you a peek at the T4 slip. So they actually say T4 on top. So T4 is when you have a job, your employer needs to provide all the information about how much you were paid exactly and how much was taken off exactly. So it doesn't matter if you do your taxes at home or if you do them online. They're going to say, all right, look at your T4 slip, write down this number, write down this number. So it says, what is a T4 slip? So it's issued by your employer, that's your boss, or other financial institutions, and it states your earnings for the year. It also states the amount of standard deductions you pay, like EI, CPP, income tax. And it states any other deductions that you pay too, like union dues, health plan, etc. There's another slip that you might be receiving in the mail, and it's called a T5 slip. So the T5 slips are not issued by employers. What they're issued usually by are the banks, or financial institutions. And it states the amount of interest you earned on your investment. So if you have a savings account and you made some money on the interest of that money, you have to claim that in your income tax as well. So those are called T5 slips. So T4 is from your boss, T5 is basically from the bank. And it's important to keep receipts because you can pay less taxes if you can claim some of these tax deductible things. So basically donations to charity. So anything you donate to charity, you don't have to pay taxes on, which is nice. Medical expenses, union dues, childcare expenses. So I even said with my kids, they're in a before school program, like a daycare. I don't have to pay taxes on that money that I spent for them. Children's fitness and art activities, moving expenses, RRSPs, educational expenses like tuition, books. And if you're self-employed, things that you need like supplies or the rent you pay on your building or gas. Okay, but that only counts if you're self-employed. So basically, everyone's got to file income tax. You have to do it by April 30th. And you're going to start receiving, once the new year starts, these little T slips. Okay, these little T slips like T4, T3, T5.